AEW's All In event in London, England at the historic Wembley Stadium has now become a historic event in itself for professional wrestling. It has now set the record for being the all-time highest attendance for a professional wrestling show. There are more tickets distributed for this event than any other pro wrestling show on the planet. And there are some caveats to that we will get into in a moment here. But first, for more details, check out this clip from Tranquillo Club. It's a YouTube channel that does some great little short little video essay projects. Real good work over there. And they went ahead and broke down this historic occasion for us. I'll catch you on the flip side.
80,846. Per WrestleTix, this is the number of tickets distributed for AEW All In at Wembley Stadium, meaning All In has now surpassed WrestleMania 32 in tickets distributed. Come August 27th, AEW will officially hold the record for the most attended wrestling event in all of history. A huge congratulations to Tony Khan and everyone at AEW for pulling off the impossible. Even I, a very enthusiastic AEW fan, couldn't imagine them filling up Wembley Stadium and breaking the all-time attendance record, but they did it. You'd be surprised at the number of comments I've gotten on my past videos that claimed WrestleMania 3 had over 90,000 fans and how WrestleMania 32 had over 100,000 fans. It's 2023, guys. Those numbers are fake. WWE fakes their attendance numbers for quote-unquote entertainment purposes. They've admitted this themselves time after time, so stop coming into my videos with that WWE propaganda bullshit. Now more than ever, I've seen people move the goalposts in ways that are predictable yet sad. Of course, most sane people don't count the New Japan WCW joint show Collision in Korea. That was a show where people were forced to attend or face execution. Excuse me for not wanting to count that show, but even if you're completely insane and you do want to count Collision in Korea, AEW will still hold the record for largest paid attendance ever for a wrestling event. Then there's the mental gymnastics of touting WrestleMania attendance over 2 nights. Hats off to WWE for their great attendance over 2 nights, but we're talking about individual crowd size, not a cumulative crowd size. There's a reason why WWE has been touting selling over 90,000 tickets for WrestleMania 40. It's to try to discredit All In. Well, guess what? 90,000 over 2 nights equals to 45,000 per night, because again, we're talking about individual crowd size for a single event. What part of that don't you guys get? I'm tired of the misinformation and goalpost moving that we've seen for an accomplishment this massive that the entire wrestling industry should be celebrating. A 5-year-old entity now holding the all-time paid attendance record is completely unheard of in any sport or form of entertainment, let alone wrestling.
So, according to WrestleTix, we have the available tickets for this event remaining of 4,626. A current setup capacity of 85,472, and they have distributed 80,846. And then it says plus 790 since last update. I don't know if that includes or what. I ain't here to do math. But this has passed the previous 80,709 number that was set by WrestleMania 32. That is absolutely fucking phenomenal. Now, there are a couple caveats to this, so let's address those before we get into the meat and potatoes of this and all of my opinions and such. First of all, the tickets distributed. Now, this is according to Dave Meltzer, that he kind of broke down the distributed versus the units sold. Check out this clip.
They did pass 80,709 tickets yesterday, which was whatever, that was the goal. They hit the last goal. So, the show hasn't been heavily papered as far as we can tell, because if there were a ton of freebies out there, we would know, because believe me, not only do they have so many enemies that would want it out, but, it just word gets out, when something's being papered. I mean, there have been shows where, we have known, with AEW when it's a lot of free tickets, and usually it's not, but there have been shows where there have been, like the Las Vegas pay-per-view, for example. I mean, we knew this one. I mean, and that was still only like 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
This one I'm not hearing, but I don't know. Again, I don't know exactly what the paid was, other than last I heard the paid was 73, which is a fantastic number.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, whatever it is, if it's the biggest paid attendance in history, then wonderful. If it's the third biggest paid attendance in history, it's still wonderful. I mean, it's far, far, far more successful than not anyone, because there absolutely were people who predicted it would sell out. But most people, were between 30 and 50, and many under 20. So it blew away. And I know what Tony's number was, because he and I discussed it, and it was 50. So it's going to be, 60% above his projections. So I mean, he's blown away. Everyone's blown away.
So the event is papered a little bit, not significantly. It's not like we're just handing out tickets to everybody here. This number is sold tickets. They've sold into the 70+ thousands of tickets. They've made so much filthy, dirty money off of this, it's not even funny. And then they're going to go there and sell all kinds of merch and do all kinds of cool shit. This is huge, huge for AEW. Now, it is also not necessarily the most attended wrestling show of all time, as technically that record falls with the Collision in Korea event that Ric Flair and Muhammad Ali were at over in North Korea. However, the caveat to that is, can you count an event that was attended because you had to be there at gunpoint? I mean, if it's a choice between they're going to murder you in your sleep or drag you out into the streets and shoot you or hang you or burn you or blow you up or eat you for dinner because they're all hungry over there, or go to the wrestling show, I mean, do we really count those numbers? I don't think that should be counted, but technically, I think, what was that, like into the 90,000s or 100,000 legit? So that was technically the highest attended wrestling show of all time. But most of those people had never even heard of pro wrestling. It was just something to make North Korea look good. So it's really how many people can the North Korean government shove into a stadium to use as propaganda for how awesome their country is. These are not wrestling fans going to a show willingly. So as far as that is concerned, AEW did it. Now look, we already know that, with John Cena coming out at, what was that, Money in the Bank, where he came out and was like, we need to bring WrestleMania to London. They're trying to steal some stank from AEW. It's the same with the announcement of their tickets, like Tranquillo Club video clip said that, they're trying to, we sold this many tickets for WrestleMania. You're playing with the numbers. What you're trying to do is trying to take the piss. And look, more power to it. I almost did a clip. I didn't, but Booker T had a segment on his pod this week where he was kind of talking about, is it a wrestling war out there? And he's under the impression that it definitely is. And this is one of those things. WWE plays these little dirty tricks. AEW hits this significant milestone with their arena show. So WWE, they come out and they have John Cena announce that they want to do a WrestleMania there. Get everybody buzzing about that and not buzzing about All In. And then they come out and say they sold all these tickets for WrestleMania in Philly, but they don't mention that it's for the 2-day event. Not just, they just say, tickets sold for WrestleMania. They're playing with us. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that WWE will beat that record. They won't have it. They will insist on beating that record. So you can look for them to want to do some kind of show somewhere along the way, be it a WrestleMania or something different, where they're going to try to find a stadium and cram it with more people than All In. Probably at Wembley itself. I think that might be the goal. Let's just go to Wembley and put more people there than they did. That's what I would do if I was WWE, and it's good. It's healthy for the business. Fine. I'm all for it. It doesn't take anything away from AEW. The significance of this event should not be discounted. I don't care how much you hate AEW. You can't sit and you can't piss in their Cheerios on this. They sold 70+ thousand tickets. Meltzer had also said in that same clip that Tony Khan's goal was 50,000. That was the internal. That's what we would like to hope to be able to do at this arena is 50,000 people. They're going to have 80,000. 85,000 is what it's set up for. They'll probably get all 85 in there. They only got 4,000 tickets left to sell. I mean, maybe they don't sell them all. All In is only like, a week away, but 4,000, that's like 3 TNA shows, right? So, I mean, that's a lot of people. 4, 5, 6 TNA shows. It's still a lot of people, but, they very well could sell that out. But even if they don't, they have unlocked, the Xbox people will, achievements unlocked or whatever, trophy, the little fucking thing. You get what I'm saying. This is huge. This is historic. This is something that should not be discounted. Now, I'm disappointed as fuck with the card. This was a very shitty card, and this pisses me off about Tony Khan, to be honest with you. I don't care if they have a pay-per-view the next week. They knew they had a pay-per-view the next week. Don't give me a goddamn Rampage show. Collision. Super show. It's all fucking weird tag teams and they're not significant. It gets everybody on the card, lets the people in attendance see all the stars. Everybody gets to be on the show and get a payday and whatnot. But there's no significance to 6-man and 8-man matches unless it was CMFTR versus the Elite. And it's not. Young Bucks versus FTR is a brilliant one. Despite everybody trying to cancel Cash Wheeler before he's had any kind of conviction on a not guilty plea. So fuck off with that. One way or another, guilty or not. He has not been proven guilty or not. So he gets to go to All In and he gets to wrestle FTR and have Young Bucks and have a fantastic match there. And I hope they do. And that's a main event if I've ever saw one. Adam Cole and MJF is a little meh to me. I don't take Adam Cole seriously anymore. I hate to say it. I used to love Adam Cole. I'm not a body shamer or a guy that thinks everybody needs to look like Brian Cage. But you do need to, if you're a professional wrestler on TV in your spandex underwear, have some muscles and definition and go to the gym as a general hobby. Is that too much to ask? If your profession is a professional wrestler, can you go to the gym? Could ya? Even in Eddie Kingston, this is fucking belly and shit. I'm not one to complain. I mean, I'm Eddie Kingston-esque. But he can work on the pipes a little bit even still, right? So I'm not as huge. It's a popular storyline. I'll give him that. So I guess, it's one of the biggest AEW storylines going into that event. I don't know that it just screams. It's good. In the context of AEW currently, it's a hot angle, so fine. But it does kind of. It doesn't scream marquee main events megastars. And putting them on in a tag team match earlier, unless they're shooting an angle, which I think is what they are doing, I don't like that either, even if it's on the 0 hour. Punk and Samoa Joe, I mean, that's fine. It's a good little banger of a match, but is it a stadium match? Is that what you wanted to see in the stadium? Maybe. I'll give you that. Beyond that, though, it's a bunch of 6-mans. You You got the stadium and you got the stadium stampede, fucking anarchy in the stadium arena, whatever the fuck it's called. It's stupid. I'm over the Blackpool Combat Club. I'm over the whole just gang warfare, brawls all over the place, and violence. Claudio's been used like shit. He should be out having banger wrestling matches, and instead he's fucking back up for Mox in all these bloody douchebag fucking meat market matches. Wheeler Yuta is unfortunately, like Jim Cornette says, he's Wheeler useless. He's a charisma vacuum. I don't care. And Bryan Danielson's hurt. And I was significantly bringing him down as well. AEW has a bad habit of taking stars like a Bryan Danielson and making them completely boring and useless and not worth watching. Another bad one, Sting and Darby Allin versus whoever the fuck. I don't even remember. Doesn't matter. Why? Why can't Sting have a solo match at this show? Why can't it be his last match? Maybe, okay, he had mentioned in a recent interview that Tony Khan had said that the way that you work, Sting, and the way that we need you and use you, you don't necessarily ever have to retire. But I would have liked to see Sting get a one-on-one match here. But, is what it is. At least he's going to be there in action, right? What are they facing? Swerve and AR Fox? Is that it? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's underwhelming. It's underwhelming, to say the least. And I like Swerve. AR Fox leaves a little bit to be desired, in my opinion, but underwhelming. And then you got, what else we got on this fucking card here? Four-way girls match. Why has it got to be a four-way? Let's do a one-on-one. Let's do Saraya. Well, Tony Storm's actually doing some sweet shit lately, so maybe the four-way there. But I'm not huge on four-ways, but maybe I'll give him that one. Kenny Omega with fucking Kota Ibushi. And who used to have abs and now he doesn't. And just Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay. This is horrible use of Will Ospreay. Chris Jericho is not a fun guy to watch in the ring anymore. I like Chris Jericho. I am not a Chris Jericho hater. I think his best role at this point is character work in the ring. He's not a work rate guy. He's not a 5-star clinic banger kind of guy. Chris Jericho is a punch, kick, angle kind of guy. Shoot an angle, do something fun in the match. Hulk Hogan-esque, play the crowd. Do your fucking... he shouldn't even be doing the moonsault anymore because I'm always worried he's going to land on his neck or something. But to put him in there with Will Ospreay, he's going to bring Will Ospreay down. Jericho, and again, I'm a fan of Jericho's. This is coming from a place of love. But I can see Chris Jericho wanting to think that he can be on the level of work rate with Will Ospreay. Wants to go for his own 5-star fucking clinic, or he's going to bring Will Ospreay down, which Will Ospreay does not need that kind of exposure. You know, in Wembley Stadium, in Will Ospreay's home country, Will Ospreay needs a showcase match where he can show off his skills. And though working with Chris Jericho is certainly a marquee match, it's a big name to work in a big stadium in your home country, the match is going to look like shit. Sorry. I'll be happy if they prove me wrong, but we all know the match is going to look like shit. So that's disappointing as well. So underwhelming card lineup, but it's still going to be a historic event nonetheless. But I would have rather a lot of different things happen on that show, and I would have fantasy booked it quite differently than the way it turned out. But what the fuck do I know? It's not my promotion going to Wembley Stadium. Tell you that. What are your thoughts? Are you looking forward to the matches? Are you happy with the matches? Are you pissed about the matches? Do you have anything to say about the attendance? Do you think you believe WWE's fake numbers? Do you count the one in North Korea still, even though it was at gunpoint? Let me know all of your thoughts, all the thoughts down in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next biatch.
Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.